Hi everyone, it's Stephanie with Maureen Bradley Designs. I'm back with you for another tutorial. I received a request from Sharon who wanted to see how I created the confetti seed bead necklaces that I shared with you a while back in the confetti seed bead bracelet tutorial. So I have gone ahead and created that tutorial, and we're going to learn how to make a fall inspired or autumn inspired seed bead confetti necklace, where we'll be learning how to make this pendant, some chain, the leather connection. I'm going to share with you how you can use a cone end cap instead of a glue-in end cap on your rope. And then also we're going to learn how to do the leather button connection too. So this is a skill builder tutorial, and that means that you'll have to refer to the confetti seed bead bracelet tutorial to learn this technique for the rope. And the technique is the same in this video. You'll just have to make it the length that you want for a necklace. I wanted to take a moment also to say that if you want to just string your beads, you can do that as well. I have a previous tutorial which uses wire guardians and crimps, and that technique is also a video that I have created, and I'll post links in the comments or in this description to those videos to make it easier for you. I just want to take a moment to tell you thank you so much for the love and the support that you give back to me. It means the world. Thank you for liking and subscribing my channel. It keeps me going. And if there's ever anything that you would like to see, please leave me a comment and I will gladly see what I can do about creating a video for what you like. This channel's for you. And so with that being said, I think we should get down to the mat and learn how to make this necklace. Okay, so some supplies you're going to need or consider. Here's my confetti seed bead rope. You'll have to watch the previous video on the confetti seed bead bracelet that shows this technique. And I thought you might enjoy seeing a different way to finish your ends. So we'll work on that. I've got some cones, or you can simply glue in. These are JBB metal findings. You can glue in, or I'll show you how to use the cones. This is the other cone. It's just a small cone. So these are tiara cast coins. If you can't find them, you can find these on Amazon. Not this brand, but something similar to, I believe this is a 25mm blank pendant. And then you'll need a cabochon. So I have this one. It doesn't quite fit. But I'm going to show you how you can fill in that void there with some cup chain. I have some pearl and silver cup chain to match the pearl coin. If you don't have a pearl coin, you can use other things as well. Check Glass Beads has some larger beads that look like coins as well. Or a gemstone that you like, something similar in the round. I've also got some crystals. Here, some Austrian crystals. And I have some check glass leaves to kind of change it up and make this a fall piece. I have some leather. This is 1.5mm leather in pumpkin. And then I have some hemp cord. It's a variegated hemp cord that will go well with the leather. And then I also have these square Austrian crystals, and they're square blanks. If you can't find the rivolis like this or the squares, there are these that I had in my stash. These are sew-on components, but they work just as well in your pieces. I love using these. I found these at nostalgica.com. And there's a good variety of these connector Austrian crystals as well, and I love how they sparkle. And what else? Oh, instead of a lobster clasp this time, we're going to use a button. So this is a gold bead button. And then you'll need the round connector piece here. This is the seed bead mix I'm using. So I really love this time of year, and I love the colors of the pumpkins that I'm seeing. I'm not just seeing orange jack-o'-lantern pumpkins out. I'm seeing pumpkins in white, or like a cream color, like a green. There are these beautiful artisan pumpkins. So I chose this seed bead mix for my confetti seed bead rope in my piece, because I really loved all of the colors of the pumpkins out there right now. So I think that's everything on my table. You're going to need some E6000 glue. And then should not forget the tools, the pliers. You'll need round nose pliers. You're going to need some chain nose pliers. I have some bent nose as well, and then some flush cutters as well. So let me clear this up out of the way. And then before we get started, would you like to see what it looks like outside today? This is my view outside. Thought maybe you might like to see. It's a gorgeous day outside. So hopefully you are getting outside and enjoying this beautiful weather. Hopefully it's beautiful in your neck of the woods. I know Australia is coming into spring, so probably just as similar, where it's beautiful days, crisp air. I'm going to move this out of the way, but I'll keep it here so you can see it. And then rearrange my little workspace so that it's clean and you can see. All right, I think we're good now. So the first thing I thought we would work on is the pendant, because we need to glue things into place. And for this pendant, you can use a large cabochon like this, a 25mm cabochon, or you can make your own. There's so many different ways to do this, so it's really just your imagination and you. So in order to make this one, I thought I'd show you something a little bit different, what I've been enjoying doing. And that is, we're going to just place that cabochon in the middle, and you see how there's a little ridge of opening there. And then we're just going to be placing the cup chain inside. And you see that it fits rather perfectly, and it makes a really pretty pendant piece. So let's glue it into place so that it can be drying while we're working on the rest of our necklace. And I'm just going to grab some tissue in case I get, glue on my fingers. And we're going to need our cutters in case, so that we can cut the cup chain. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my E6000, and I am going to run that glue all around this, putting a little thin layer of glue. Sorry, I have to hold it. I'm trying to not be in the way. But I'm just spreading that glue all around the pendant. Not worrying too much. And coming to the edge is important because we're going to be putting that cup chain in. Don't worry, E6000 cleans up really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead, and I wanted my flower to, just making sure I'm in the camera correctly. All right, in the middle here. So I'm just going to drop that piece in there like that. And then I'm going to leave that little stub right there. You see that? Better come in just a little bit more. I'm going to leave that little stub, the metal piece, hanging out. And I'm just going to place it in there right next to my cabochon. And I'm just going to gently press the chain inside. And I think that it's probably easiest to rotate it as I'm going. And there we go. Pushing down as I turn to make sure I get it in there. And then, so now I know where I need to clip it. I'm going to clip it right there on that one piece there. So I'm going to pull that straight and just give it a clip. And I'm grabbing my bent nose pliers so I don't put my finger in the glue, and I'm just going to grab this piece and I'm going to press it down. There we go. And then that is my pendant piece. And then that chain also kind of allows me to make sure my cab is in the center. And I'm just making sure everything's, and I didn't get any glue. I actually did a good job this time. Normally I get it all over the place. But that little extra silver piece acts as the spacer when you're placing the chain inside, and you really can't tell. I mean, we know it's there, but let me see if I can get that down a little bit further. I see what I did wrong. Okay, there we go. I just gotta press that. There we go, I got it in there. And that little spacer piece acts as the connection, and now you really can't tell where I clipped it. So that's why you want to leave that little piece in there. All right, so we need to let this dry, and we'll come back and start the next part. All right, so I went ahead and I finished gluing in my other two crystals that I'm going to be using. So those are drying or have dried. I recommend at least 24 hours before you begin working with them. So now let's start building the necklace. So I guess I should have left this here. I'm going to have my pendant, my connector for my pendant, and then my Austrian crystal. I have a check glass maple leaf, and then my Austrian crystal connector, my pearl coin. Let's see, making sure I'm in the camera okay. And then we have our other Austrian crystal, and we're just repeating what we did on this side. So that's how that's going to go. And then my seed bead rope is going to come down like this. And I'm going to use a button this time again. It's a bead button, and we'll connect it. I'll show you how to do this side since I already did the one. And we'll make that connection. We'll do this section next. We're going to connect it to our round. We're going to have leather here, and then we can connect our seed bead rope to finish. All right, sounds like a plan. Let me move these things out of the way real quick. So I'm gonna show you how to connect the pearl with, since this is the middle section, and then you'll just repeat for the rest of that chain piece. Since I've got some variation in golds, I'm going to use some brass wire. This is 22 gauge German style wire, and I'll use this. The reason I have chosen to use it is because I'm actually limited by the pearl. The pearl hole is very small, and so when I go to, I mean, it's snug just trying to fit it in. I'll worry about that when I get there. Let's go ahead and make our connection first with the crystals. So let me do that. I've got some, we start with a flat edge. So I'm going to leave myself a good amount on each side so I can do a double wrap around the loop. And so I'm about at the middle, I guess, maybe 3/4. There we go. I'm just going to make a bend, like a square, like an angle, bend it at an angle. And then I'm taking my round nose pliers and I'm going to bring that wire around, all the way around, and then I'm rotating my pliers up. And I'm about 1/4 inch in on my pliers, and I'm bringing that other end like that to make a loop. And then I'm going to open that loop slightly so that it will go into my crystal loop, and I'm going to make my connection like that, just like that. And then I'm taking my chain nose pliers and gently grabbing onto both so that they don't move. I'm going to wrap this side of my wire around this side of the wire. And I'm going to go a couple times. Like that. And then I'm going to bend it up a little bit and come back around so that it's like a double wrap. And I'm going to just come around, straightening my loop. And then I can clip that away, that extra end away, holding on to the piece I'm cutting so that it doesn't fly away. And then I'm just going to give that little end that I cut a tuck and flatten it out. And then I'm straightening my loop for my connection, like that. There we go. And now we can add the pearl. Let's see, it was going on earlier because I had double checked it to make sure. But now it looks like it won't go through. There we go. Okay, good. So I'm coming all the way down like that. So since we've got the loops on our crystals are flat, right? We have to make our loop to connect this one going up. So that's what we're going to do again. A lot of times on beaded chain, this is what you see. One loop on one side is up and the other one is flat so that the chain will lay correctly. So since these are both flat on my Austrian crystal connector, we've got to make our loop parallel, or excuse me, perpendicular is what you need to do. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and I'm putting my round nose pliers right next to the pearl, and I'm bending towards me at an angle to make that little angle. And then I'm going to 1/4 inch in, again, come around, rotate my pliers up, and then I'm just bringing that wire around like so. So we make our loop. Again, I am giving it a little bit of an opening so it will connect. And then, let's see if I get this right. I believe I need to go downward so that it will lay flat up. Sometimes I get it wrong and I go the opposite direction. Just don't close your loop. Check it before you wrap your loop. That way everything is sitting properly. So we're good. We want both of the crystals to be facing up, not the other way. All right, so again, I'm grabbing the loop and my wire, and I'm just gently pressing. I'm not squeezing. And I'm just wrapping my wire around until I get to the pearl. It's going to be a couple wraps. And then again, we can come up just a little bit and make that double wrap there. And then we can clip away the extra. Okay. Did I get it? Okay. And then I'm just giving that little extra piece a tuck down. There we go. I got it. Okay. And then I always make sure my loops are straight. Even if you have to take your round nose pliers and fit it in there. Okay. Not quite yet. There we go. So that is our connection there. That's the middle piece of the chain. All right, so I'm going to finish the maple leaves and the green Austrian crystals and come back. We'll connect it to this, put our jump ring to here. And then what we will have left is the last pieces to connect the necklace. We'll be back. All right, so we're back, and I've completed the chain, and I connected it to my tiara cast loop. And I'm going to put that there, so that part's done, and I thought we would move ahead and finish this other side. Again, if you want to use the glue-in ends, you can. You put your glue inside of the cap, and then you fit your piece in there, and you and you let it dry for 24 hours. But I thought maybe since we're doing another necklace, you might like to see how to do a little decorative cone. So I'm just going to take some 22 gauge German style wire, and I guess I'm going to use about 3 or 4 inches. Should be good. Just clip that away. And I'm just giving it a little bit of a warm with my fingers, making it warm so that it's easier to bend. And then, so I just normally place the cone over my piece. And that's about how much room we have to work with. It's not much. And so I'm just going to put my wire in there like so with this stem sticking out, and then I'm just going to wrap it around a couple times. So we just need enough to where it's inside the cone, like that. So it's almost like, I guess you're making a cone within a cone, and I'm just taking my finger and pushing it up. And then we have this stem here. So all I do is push it up a little bit and give it a little wrap as well so that it's, there we go. And then I'm going to clip that edge away, that extra piece off. And then I'm just going to push these together like that so they're tight together, and you can see it's not going to go anywhere. Just gently I'm pushing. I don't want to break my seed beads. It's okay if a little bit of the gold is showing. It's not going to hurt nothing. But you can see that it's very strong. And the reason I tried to do this is because if I tried to connect my wire in there to do a overwrap, I'm afraid it'll pull my stitches out, or maybe even pull too much on my rope. So that's why I chose to do a little wrap for the cone. And you can see it's not going anywhere. All right. So now all we have to do is fit the cone over, and see it does show a little bit, but not much. It's okay. like that. And I just straighten it a little bit, fitting it snug over my seed beads, like that. And we're just going to do a regular wrapped loop. So I'm coming in a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch on my pliers, my round nose pliers, and I'm pushing back to make that angle. And then I'm going to pull that wire around, rotate my pliers up, and bring this other piece of this wire around. And then a little bit tiny rotation with my hand with the pliers, and see we've got our loop. And then I'm just going to grab a hold of that loop with my chain nose pliers and do another wrap. Just bringing that wire on around. Oops. And there we go. And then I'm just going to clip away that extra. Alrighty, give that a little bit of tuck, and then we want to straighten everything out. Just make sure my loop is straight. And of course, if I get too much of a space there, we can always push it down. There we go. Do it on that side too. There we go. There we are. Whoop. Try not to play with it too much. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. So now we've got our 2 edges finished. Let's see where we're at. So now we've got this side is done. It's going to connect. Our pendant is going to come here. Let me make sure I'm in the camera. And then, oh, we need to connect our B. So I did bring out some jump rings. So I have a couple of brass jump rings. So we'll go ahead and connect our B, and then the last part we need to do to finish this up is the leather. So to connect the B, I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to push these front to back, never side to side. And I'm going to feed my chain through here, hold on to the other side, and I'm going to fit my B right there, and then I'm just going to close up front to back again. And you can wiggle them if you need to make sure you have a tight close with your jump rings. Making sure. There we go. All right, so now we have our B. I think that looks so cute. All right. We'll come back and do the leather. All right, so I am ready now to do the leather connection for each side of our necklace. I have about an 18-inch necklace going, almost 18. I think with this leather connection, it'll be right at 18 inches. So we're going to go ahead and connect these two, my chain side and my seed bead side with the leather. I have a 5-piece inch of the marigold leather or pumpkin leather. This is 1.5 millimeters leather. And then I have about a 10-inch piece of the hemp cording that we're going to do the macrame knot with. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my leather into each side of my piece. And then, since I want my knot to be at the back, I'm going to go ahead and turn everything over, and we'll be working this way. Make sure my mat is here. All right. And don't worry about the size right now. I went ahead and did this size because I have fat fingers, and it's just easier to have something to grab onto when you're making loops. So using a little bit more is helpful. So I've gone ahead and added my leather into each side of the loops, and I'm going to take my hemp cord and I'm going to make a loop on this side, on the one side, and I'm going to grab everything with my hands and hold it, and I'm going to place that loop on one side like this. Okay, and then I'm going to take my hemp cording and I'm going to wrap a few times, keeping the wrap side by side. 2, 3, and we want this cord to stay out. 4 and 5, and then I'm going to come up with this end and I'm going to stick it through underneath everything, those loops. And it takes a minute because everything's in the way. So I'm bringing that end back up. Did I lose it? Oh, there we go. All right. So I'm going to make sure all my wraps are there. So 4, one more. All right, so I'm holding on to it for dear life. And I'm wrapping that under. I'm going to put that end under everything. Like that. And I'm going to take my end and put it through my loop like that. And I'm going to pull on both sides. And it looks like it's coming undone, but it's not. Just making sure my loops are there. And we want to make sure that both sides of the pumpkin leather are okay. There we go. Just have to have a little patience, see? All right. So now I'm going to pull on both of those. It's okay if the leather isn't perfect right now. Just let it be. Just pull on those cords. The knot goes inside the loops like that. And as we get closer, we can pull those leather cords to the length we want. There we go. See if my other thing here, I don't want to pull that out. So now I'm just going to pull tight like so. And now I'm going to pull this side of the leather, and I'm going to pull this side of the leather, so you can see that it makes a great little connection. I'm pulling my mat down, and then I'm just measuring it. I want to come in just a little bit more with my piece. There we go. And I want to be equal on both sides of the leather. And I want it, like I said, I want to be around 1 inch. There we go. And now I really want to pull on these so that they're really snug. And as you pull on that, I've not had any trouble with the leather going anywhere. See, it's pretty snug. And then that's what it looks like on this side. Sorry. It's pretty tight. Just going to give it another pull. All right. So now I will clip away each side of the hemp. There. There. Oops. And then I'll leave just a little bit of my leather hanging out, like so. Oops, I'm off camera. Sorry about that. I'm just clipping away a little bit of that leather at an angle. How pretty is that? There we go. All right. So now we have this other side that we need to connect before we're finished. Boy, my mat is just getting moved everywhere. Okay, we're good. So I need another piece of leather. Probably going to take another 5-inch piece. I think that should be good. Because we're going to do a little lasso around our, so I'm going to take another 5, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 6 inches, sorry about that. And again, we're taking a little bit of the leather, but we need something to work with, with our fingers. All right. So what I want is for this leather to go around my B button like a lasso, and it'll connect here. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm just going to take my 2 ends and put it under like so. And I'm going to come all the way up to where I have a small little loop. We don't want too much, but we do want enough to go around that B. And so I'm just going to do an overhand knot. But I need it to where it just comes around. That's pretty good. Okay. And I got uneven here somehow. Okay. I think that's good. Maybe a little bit more. All right. So I'm just going to do an overhand knot into there like that. And I'm going to pull it tight. Oops. Like so. How pretty is that? So that's that. I'm just tightening it up so it doesn't come loose. And let's make sure that I'm not, okay. Okay. So there's that. Okay. And what do we have left? We have left, oops. We have left our pendant that we need to do. All right, and the last part of what we want to do is to add our pendant to our necklace. So I'm going to grab a jump ring. This is a brass jump ring. And again, I'm opening from front to back. And I'm putting my pendant through first. And then I'm going to add my, just making sure that my jump ring is large enough. And I'm closing front to back, making sure that it's a snug fit. And there is our necklace. I'm going to go ahead and scoot out some so that you can see my messy table with all my scraps, but also so you can see the necklace itself. And I guess I'll pull it down a little bit. And there she is. All right. Well, that is all for today. I took up enough of your time, and I hope that you've enjoyed creating this necklace with me as much as I have enjoyed creating it for you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please leave me a comment. Love to see your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do appreciate all the love that and the support. And if there is something you would like to see, I would love for you to let me know. Until next time, enjoy your fall, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.